cause every day I wake, I'm blessed to be alive, blessed to open my eyes, my mind open wide, mind reader say in due time he shall rise. Until then, I continue to ride, shooting for the stars. If I miss, I'll land in the sky. 747, go always stay fly, smoking the best strands, pushing them foreign rides, pushing it to the limit. I'm just trying to survive, moving at God's speed on this roller coaster ride. It's Medellin, La Costa Nostra till I die. That's when my spirit and my physical divide. Angels welcome me home, tears of joy as my soul rises, my soul rise, as my soul rise.
Like these freaks, let us use their apartments for free. It's not only that, we're paying their rent or giving them free supply, whatever they're using. That ain't just it. Motherfuckers wanna feel like they're a part of something.
Pick up the pen, said a prayer and he blessed my ink. My spirit talking down my soul is starting to speak. Where success is concerned, one is not measured by degrees, but by the size of his thinking. If you believe, you shall achieve. When I go, bury me in Louis Linen. Thank you cards to all the Colombians and Dominicans. We was broke in the slums, they gave us a way to win. Fuck waiting on a handout, we getting it in. Taking penitentiary chances down the ride to the end. Too grown to be playing, less I'm playing to win. Can't give up down on my knees, praying for my sins, reaching for high heights, driven off the spirit within. Surrounded by shooters, fast money and made men who made the money, money never made them. Loyalty go a long way, stand up niggas don't bend. Cinderella story, turn my bucket to a Benz. Was tired of being broke, said fuck it, it's time to win. We popping Ace of Spades bottles, pocket stuff with big bins, expensive cigars, sour perp stuffed in. Louis luggage in the Ranger, half a meal stuffed in.
Man, black people in this country, they want to feel like they are a part of something. No doubt. Stick around, Jay. I'm a school.
Pick up the pen, said a prayer and he blessed my ink. My spirit talking down my soul is starting to speak. Where success is concerned, one is not measured by degrees, but by the size of his thinking. If you believe, you shall achieve. Pick up the pen, said a prayer and he blessed my ink. My spirit talking down my soul is starting to speak. Where success is concerned, one is not measured by degrees, but by the size of his thinking. If you believe, you shall achieve. You shall achieve, you shall achieve, you shall achieve. You shall achieve, you shall achieve, you shall achieve.
For every road, there's always a destiny. For every move, you got to play for keeps. Keeping my head high towards the sky. Forever I will be the one and only. Thank God for me.
Yo, in my barrel you had to be thorough. Couldn't come around here, no place for widows. Money on our mind, doing numbers, constantly adding zeros. People depending on me, fast lane, they ghetto hero. Cartier lenses, chinky eyes half closed. Billy Kimber keep me relaxed on the road. Stood in zero below for the dinero. Rather freeze to death before I be bro. Sacrifice my life to get my foot in the door. Now I got the keys to the city, I can open doors. Running that bag up is my only goal. Fuck dying poor, rather be old. Whipping a rose, traveling the globe.
There's always a destiny. For every move, you got to play for keeps. Keeping my head high towards the sky. Forever I will be the one and only. Thank God for me.
3 daddies, 1 mama, tell me what is this? Who would've ever thought that this what the world was gonna get? A young black man standing with my 10 toes down. They say what goes around and what goes up must come down. Relate, create and make a sound decision. Stacking your paper up, showing love, raising your children. Fuck copping sacks and guns, it's time to count some buildings. Entrepreneuring your talents, making an honest living. Cause there's a time and a place and always a reason. Gotta be ready and steady to change with the seasons. Even my
Hello. How's everybody out there doing? How we doing on this evening?
What up?
Y'all already know who this is. This is your girl, Miss Kiwi, along with all my co-hosts.
That's right, Miss Mink is in the house again.
Fast Lane 747. What up, y'all?
And we have a great show for y'all tonight, so we want y'all to call in 515-599-1687. Tune in. Make sure you join in. The topic is good. Mental versus physical abuse. Which one hits or which one hurts?
The worst.
The worst.
Yes.
Talk to us. We're going to talk back.
All right. Yes, this is really, I mean, it's a sincere topic, but it's also a topic that is much needed to be discussed. We're not here to step on anyone's toes or bring up any bad memories or anything of that nature, but we just want you to know, as a part of our mission statement, that your voice is always able to be heard, especially our youth. We want to bridge the gap between our youth. Get them talking. Bring back that line of communication. Grab hold. Listen to some of your old schoolers and hear what they got to say. You will be amazed how it could really help you in your growing and your growth. But communication is key. And that's the reason why it is that we always have these type of topics. These are topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it's good to talk. Communication brings a lot of relief and awareness. Most definitely. You're right, Miss Kiwi.
Yeah, because, not only, a lot of times when you speak about mental, it makes people run away or shy away, but everybody is going through something mental. We all have even been through physical, once in our life. But there are people who's actually in it every day and don't want to talk about it. So it's not to put anybody down. It's not even for us to be nosy in your business, because if you call in, you don't have to put your name out there, but just share something, because maybe that'll help someone else that, won't come out of not even just not calling, but won't even talk about it, won't share or none of that. So let's talk about it. This is very, very, very interesting. And not only is it interesting, it can help someone. Like I said, we all going through something mentally, mentally, emotionally, physically,
psychologically.
Yeah, spiritually, so let's just talk about it. We ain't got to run down. We can walk it down, and everything that we talk about are just things that we have looked up, or maybe even things that we have experienced. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Yes, most definitely. I was doing a lot of research, as I try to, especially when it is that we have these type of topics, because it is, very severe. These are severe topics. These are topics that need to be discussed. We need to stop shying away from things that need to be talked about. We need that release. We just don't understand how much it is if we hold things in, that not only are we hindering our growth, but we could be potentially hindering the help and the need of someone else. We are supposed to be helpers one to another, but when it is that we don't talk about it. I know that these are hard topics, and it's really hard for those individuals that are going through it at this time, or even those individuals that have gone through it. But let's talk it through. Most definitely, why not say it, is here to listen. This is a no judgment pass zone, because as Miss Kiwi stated before, and you always hear all of us on the show talk about it, we've had these type of experiences. We may not be going through them at this particular time, but believe me, we've gone through it and we've had those experiences. We're not going to talk about things that we really have not experienced. Everybody learns from experience.
That's right. So, call in 515-599-1687. Talk to us. We definitely going to talk back. So what y'all think about this? Because this is happening in the real world, in the everyday world. People's mental. Mental comes from things that has happened to you, in the past, and it kind of traumatized you. Mental carry with you all the rest of your days, actually. You know what I'm saying? And when we speak of mental versus physical, we know that physical abuse is more outside, even though you can't seen, but even with physical, on the inside you can be bruised too.
That's
But
right.
mental, it's a thing where mentally you never really, you always, mental is always there. Just mental could even be through a good time. Mental is when you emotional about something that either that traumatized you, or something that has, you know what I'm saying, you can be mentally overwhelmed, happy about it. So that's why we say, let's just talk about it. Like, we all have something we can share with somebody about what we done been through. Physical abuse, verbal abuse, all of that. Abuse is abuse, actually, but we just happen to be talking about mental versus physical today.
That's
And
right.
the deep thing about mental abuse is that physically it can mess with your mental. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually it can mess with your mental. And the thing is, we have to be real with ourselves by recognizing that certain things bother us still.
Yes.
Certain loads we still carry in our mind. People act out in a certain way, and they so used to feeling a certain way that they think it's okay.
Right.
And they'll tell you, well, this is just how I think. But do you know the cause of why you think like that? You know what I'm saying? And that's where we have to start reevaluating ourselves. That's why they tell us we can't keep carrying all that extra baggage with us. And that's even in our mind. You know what I'm saying? People carry hate towards people, and they don't know that how it affect you more than it affect the person you hate, because you carrying that load. You're waking up to that hate every day, or you waking up to all these dislikes, or why my life, or why me's, and all that, when really, you know what I mean, you have to address the issue and try your best to move on from it. Literally, mentally move on from it. Because if you don't mentally move on from it, you could remove yourself from a situation and still be in that situation mentally. You know what I'm saying? So that comes down to us being real with ourselves. Like, I always stress that, like, no matter what topics we on, a lot of these topics go back to knowing yourself. That's even knowing, like, when you find yourself getting depressed about something that did happen in the past, and you have to check yourself and put your mind somewhere else. Some people be like, well, how do I do that when I done been through so much, and I done been through this and this and that?
That's right.
Well, it start with appreciating right now. You
That's
see what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
Like,
right.
you got to realize, if you know you've been through all of this, then you got to know that you're not in it right now. So somewhere along your mind, somewhere along your journey, you got to start changing your mind state about how you see things. Because if you're not in that situation, that means you've been blessed from that situation.
Exactly.
So that's when you start having to lighten that load up on yourself by saying, like, okay, I'm not there no more, or I'm not with that person no more, so I can't allow myself to go back into that situation no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's being real with self. A lot of us be carrying loads and we don't realize we still carrying them. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when we walk away from things, we gotta mentally walk away from it too.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Most definitely.
Detach.
Detach. Detachment. That's really good. And you make great points there, Fast Lane, especially with the part about being able to mentally walk away. Because I look at it as neither one of them are good. It's not good to experience physical or mental, emotional or anything, because basically mental is from emotional feelings. So when it is that you are emotionally attached, most definitely, to what has going on with you, that trauma, or that constant being physically abused, it really does have a great impact on your mental. In my opinion, it's harder to actually heal from mental abuse versus physical, because that outer appearance of that physical, it tends to heal over a period of time, but that inner appearance of that mental impact of what it is that you've gone through, that's the hardest thing to try and heal from.
You could carry it your whole life.
Yes.
And you won't realize why you're so attitudey about certain things, or how you're triggered by certain conversations, or why you hate certain things. You know what I mean? Like, we have to realize, like, it's a battle going on within ourselves. You know, and when I say that, like, it's good things within us and it's negative things that we have experienced, that we got to learn how to decipher the two within ourselves. And once you realize that, okay, well, I look at certain things in a negative way because I've been through this and this and this and that, then that means I need to change how I see things, because if I keep looking at it like that, that's all I'm going to see. Right. You know what I mean? So we all use that excuse as if, well, I done been through this and I done been through that. But we got to know one fact, that it's not where you've been, it's where you're going. You see what I'm saying? So it starts with knowing that you have been pulled away from a situation. So don't keep carrying that in your mental. Don't keep making that your conversation. Don't make that your topic of your conversation. You got to put your mind on other things. You know what I'm saying? You got to take your mind away from those things that affect you or hindered you, or those hurts and those pains. And sometimes it do start with finding someone you could communicate about it and then move on. You know what I'm saying? Once you wash your hands from it, you got to press on. And a lot of people say, well, that ain't that easy. But it starts somewhere.
And the thing about it is to add on to what you were just saying, if you feel like you need to put energy into the situation, don't keep harping on the other person. Harp more on yourself.
That's right.
What did I do? What did I play? What part did I play in that? What could have done, different, to make it better? Because a lot of times you done went through it. And the more you keep talking about it, that's manifesting. Yeah. The more you keep giving that energy into it, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then you find yourself in a deep, deep depression. And that person is going on about what they, going on about. Right. So start looking at yourself in any situation. What did I do?
But let me just ask you this, because I hear what you're saying in reference to asking, what did I do? But that kind of, in just my opinion, it kind of plays into, so how far do you take that? Because it kind of plays into, you start to beat up yourself, and then that even builds more, onto your mental.
When I say ask myself, what part did I play in that, or what did I do? Not to beat up on myself, but to see, where is it that I'm doing, what am I doing? What am I doing so that I can correct me? Because I can't correct that person. Right. I can only correct me. And the more I focus on me, then the better I'll get. Right. It ain't about that person no more to me. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. It's not about that person no more, because we already know we went through something. Right. Okay, we might not even be together anymore. Right. Or we may still be together. But we went through it, we didn't argue. It's steady driving at your mental. It's driving. So instead of keep putting energy into, I wonder why I did this to that person, or what he do, or she, or put it into yourself. Put all that energy into you, because you have to make you better. Because when you look in the mirror, you don't see that person. Right. You see you. Right. And the more you put that energy into that person, you steady, when you do finally like think of something else, you find yourself more depressed about the situation, because you really steady trying to figure out and answer why me, or why did no, make it about you. Put that energy into finding out, what did I do wrong? You know why? Because I'm going to make a better person for whatever the next time, or the next person, or the next situation. So and that's just what I'm saying about me.
Right. So that's good, because you want to find that positive. Start making it into a positive to build, because when you go through mental, abuse, as well as physical, especially with physical, you finding ways to correct that physical informality that, may have occurred. Like if it's a black eye, or if it's a, broken arm, or broken wrist, or, bruises on you, or whatever. You find ways. So the same thing that you're doing for your physical, you want to do that for your mental. Find that positive way to rebuild your mental back up. like we always talk about those affirmations. But
Yeah.
most definitely the first foremost thing is check that man in the mirror.
Yep.
Don't continue to allow you to beat you up. Build you back up. You know, a lot of times we have a hard time building ourselves up. You know, that's a part of that mental, like you said.
So let me ask you this: do you feel like what we're talking about, going through those certain situations, I feel like you also have to realize that if you're a person that sit and look at social media all day long, you inviting a lot of things into
Or
your
look at
spirit.
them type of
Or
movies.
if you look at those type of movies. So
Yeah.
just imagine you done invited all of this already into your spirit, into your energy. Now you done went through with your mate or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and that's more energy that's being taken away from you. You know, finding something positive. So that's why I say a lot of times when we going through something, our mental definitely is going to play a great part, because that physical bam, it's a bruise. It's going to be sore. It might be broke, but it heals. You got to do that with your mental, because if you don't start healing your mental, you're going to drive yourself crazy, because so much is being piled on top of you. All that negative energy. And I always say, you have to start watching what you invite into your spirit, because that plays a great part in that. Anything you allow in your spirit, that's also playing with your mental. You know?
That's like what you surround yourself around plays a major part, as far as friends or partners or lovers. You know, if you sit around people, say for instance, if men sitting around men that's talking about how they've been dogged around women, and they steady talking about that, that's all they gonna attract. And that's just like a woman that's sitting around a bunch of women that's been hurt, and they sharing their hurt with each other. What they don't realize is they're passing that energy around, and they steady carrying that energy. Instead of someone coming along giving them a better solution, baby, you gotta love yourself, even if he didn't love you, or he gotta love himself, even if she didn't love him. And the more you love yourself, the more you're gonna attract what's good for you anyway. We all go through things. That's the process of us finding out what we really want sometimes. But we can't keep carrying what we went through it unless we learn from it and use those lessons. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. Like a lot of us, we done got so numb to the pain that we wallow in it. We want to sit and chit chat about it. We want to share those painful stories with each other instead of giving each other good stories. You know what I'm saying? Instead of turning some good out of it. Because one true fact is, if you did take time out to deal with whoever it was, that was your choice. So no matter what they have done to you, it goes back to you again by checking yourself, by making sure you don't make that same choice again. You know what I'm saying? Because really, most of the time we deal with people because we deal with people. You know what I'm saying? That we is ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how it end up, it goes back to you correcting yourself by not making that choice again, or checking yourself, knowing that that pain and that hurt wasn't good for me, so I can't do that to myself again. Because a lot of times we sit and talk about it with no solutions at the end of the conversation. All we doing is pacifying the situation, and we're going to keep on pacifying and keep on pacifying. That's like a baby. You keep giving the baby the pacifier, they're going to keep sucking on it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to cut it off. That's even being true friends to whoever your so-called friends is. You have to be able to let them know, like, hey, check this out. You might have got hurt, or he might have did you like this, but you deserve better, and you gotta love yourself a lot better. And it start with cutting off that conversation. If it hurt you that bad, let it go. You see what I'm saying? We tend to hold on to pain so much that we don't realize it's continue hurting us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to learn to let things go and move on, because a lot of times they be blocking our blessings. That's like if you pray for God to send you a good man and this and this and that, but you sitting up talking about these dogs that you didn't have before. That means you don't believe God finna send that good man. Because if you did, you would prepare yourself for it. You see what I'm saying? Forget talking about where you've been. You got to pay attention to where you're going.
Hey,
and in order
come
to get
on
there,
now.
you got to see it.
That's that rear view mirror effect.
I'm trying to say, you gonna crash. That's right. You gonna been a crash. And the thing about it is I don't think none of us is telling people not to find someone to talk to, or because here's the thing. If you go into a conversation and you feel like you want to vent about that, then what you should do after you vent about that, then you come back and you tell that person, but guess what I'm doing now to correct that or to better myself or to do that? Because like we said, everybody do need somebody to talk to.
Indeed.
And once you let it out and move on. But
keep
at the
having the
end
same
of that,
conversation.
you need to take that in and make it into
Don't
a
keep
positive
giving it. Yep.
and let that same story that you just told to whoever tell the beginning of your next chapter at the end of that story.
That's
so
right.
that way that they'll know that, oh, okay. We had this sad moment, but we finna have a joyful moment now. So she finna tell me the beginning.
But you know what? Like both of you all kind of have alluded to, and especially what Fastlane just stated, we as friends can't continue to help build on to what it is, that pain that other person is holding on to. So we also have to help them release. We have to help them relieve it. Don't keep feeding into it. Oh yeah, girl, I wouldn't do that. Or oh yeah, girl, that's going. You know what? You need to do this. You need to get back. You need to. No, cut it short. Help them to understand that you are much better than that. You are beautiful. You are, help build them up to get past that pain of what it is that they've been experiencing. A lot of people tend to just keep lingering and lingering.
Because that's what they love.
They helping build.
Misery loves company.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, they do.
Misery loves company.
More people that's going to accompany you with misery.
Yes, than it is with positivity.
Try to lift you up because they're being programmed to chase misery.
Yeah.
Like, have you noticed people chase bad conversations quicker than
they do
good conversations?
Exactly.
A lot of people run from good conversations.
Yes.
You know, I got a lot of partners and female friends that, like it's times where they came to me and I always felt like I could be an ear to them, but then it started draining me. So what I did, I started giving them positive feedback, and that started running them away because they didn't want to hear that. They just wanted me to listen and feed into the negative side of that conversation. So it got to a point where it's like, now when people come around, they like, oh, well, here you go with all this positive, or you don't want to hear none of the negative. You act like everything is all good. No. If you know where I've been, you walk a mile in my shoes, then you'll know it ain't never been all good. So along this journey, you have to realize, am I going to live my whole life like this? Am I going to keep on sitting around talking about negative, or am I going to enjoy the rest of my journey while I'm here? See, and it starts with who I sit amongst, when I sit alone. Mostly when I sit alone. You see what I'm saying? So who I sit amongst, I don't want to spend our time making history talking about bullshit in the past. You see what I'm saying? Because every day you wake, you can't get today back once it's gone. You see what I'm saying? And if you're blessed to see tomorrow, you still can't get today back. So what you do today plays a major part of tomorrow. So if you spend your today talking about that negative situation, tomorrow you're going to wake up with that on your mind too. You see what I'm saying? So somewhere along that line, you got to cut it off. And that's even with the people you sit and chit chat with. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to waste my time sitting up talking about all my negative misfortunes or my mishaps. You know what I'm saying? Because I have learned to even count those as blessings. Because when I say the lesson is more valuable than the loss, and that's even with people. Some people you lose because they was a lesson for you. You see what I'm saying? But it's up to you to recognize the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to keep going through those same
But
teachings.
like you said, and it's sad because like I always say too, in these times now, people are drawing the good is turning bad and the bad is turning good. The right is going wrong and the wrong is going right. And people are, like you said, they're running to the negative because that's all they know. They enjoy drama. They enjoy messiness. And they don't even understand how that is playing a great part on their mental, you know, and then you got all this bogged up inside, and then you end up snapping out on the wrong somebody, and now you done cause physical harm to that person. So we have to start being aware of our movement. Listen, when God give you breath in the morning, you got to make that count.
That's
like
right.
You got to straight make that count. And he's not saying make it count with the negative thing.
That's right.
He didn't say every day or all day was going to be a good day. But what he did say, you could take that negative because I gave you another chance. And you could turn it positive. Because if you keep going negative, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my hands off of you, and then guess what you going to do? You going to crash, and you going to burn. So we have to make sure that every day that God bless us with, that we try to take our day and make it a good day.
Yes.
Even when you do encounter something bad, take that bad and try to turn it into something good, you know?
And that's when we say, as far as like communication is key. Just because it is that you are going through, you got to learn who it is that you can talk to.
Yeah.
And not all the time is it that human being that you can talk to. Hey, take it to the Most High that's going to listen to you and going to give you that answer to help you turn it around. Ain't going to judge you. Absolutely.
He ain't going to make you feel no certain kind of way.
His grace and His mercy is going to help you turn that situation around. His grace, His mercy is going to help bring you out of that situation. I'm speaking from experience as well as, you know, things that I've been through. And not all the time do I talk to my sister, my brother, my mother, or any of that. But you know who I do talk to? I talk to God. And God gives me that release. God gives me that knowing that I can let it go.
Just think about this, though. And maybe people don't think about this, but just think about this. How many times have you really went through something and a person was able to really get you out that situation? Maybe they might have been able to post a little bond, but I'm just saying, like, really got you out of that situation. Come on now, you can't believe that man or woman did it
by themselves.
I'm just saying, because God send people things, and hey, you can get a blessing out of this. I'm just saying, not so much of this. But I'm just saying, from a core, God said the rock can give you a answer. You see what I'm saying? Like, we gotta really know that He's real, and that anything that you ask Him for, He can make it happen.
That's right.
He can.
But see, you know, He also gave us a scripture that says, "So as a man thinketh, he shall be."
It.
Yes.
See, we play with words a lot, and we sleep on some of the most simplest answers that tell us a lot about this journey. How we think plays a major part of the people we stand to be, like what we turn out. And that's with everybody. That don't have nothing to do with your career. That got something to do with your life, period. How you think plays a major part. So if you thinking about all the negative things you going through and been through,
that's what your life
that's what your life is.
Negative.
You feel me? So it goes back to us believing that, I went through something because that's life. We all go through something. But I got to keep it moving because I got more life to live.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And that thought alone tells me that I got to move on from what I done been through. That was just temporary. You see what I'm saying? But I got other places to be, and I want to enjoy life. And when you start telling yourself that, and when you wake up with that mind state, this going to be a good day. Nobody knows what's planned for them in their day, but when you start off with that thought, the power of our thinking plays a major part of what we attract. So when you saying it's going to be a good day, it's a major chance that it's going to be a good day. And even if you go through some bumps in that day, that's just part of the journey. Sometimes those bumps be like, sometimes those bumps slow you down for a reason, and it be lessons, or it be a sign right there when you got slowed down. It's just a matter of how you look at it, you know. And that's even with bad relationships. It was only bad because you didn't get what you wanted out of it, or how you was mistreated. But it could have been good because of the lesson you learned out of it. Don't mean to be stuck there. That just means take the good you got out of it, or even when somebody might not treat you like you want to be treated, it still teaches you how you want to be treated or how you don't want to be treated. You know?
And the thing about it is you got to think of it like this too. Have you just noticed in your life certain things you keep going back, the same thing, back. You're getting the same result because you're doing the same thing. The same thing. That's just God's way of telling you that, son or daughter, you have not passed that test yet, for me to elevate you or move you to another level, because you did not learn the lesson there. That's why a lot of times we keep going back to the same thing, keep doing the same thing, because we haven't gotten that lesson out of what God is showing you, because we be too focused on the situation and not what's going on in the situation. So we steady failing, and then we get the one, oh, why me, why I'm going through this, why not you?
That's right.
Well, it's a major part of Like, we don't realize that it's a battle within our head. It's a battle within. You know what I'm saying? We look outsourced for a lot of reasons. We blame a lot of outsource, but we don't realize that the devil attack us in our mind.
That's
within
right.
your
Absolutely.
own mind. You see what I'm saying?
That's
and he
right.
really can't hurt you, but he could push you to hurt yourself. So that all goes back to how we think and the perception of life, how we see life. You know what I'm saying? And how you see your God. If you really believe and you know he got you, you won't even worry about the devil. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he got you. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? But it's how you think. And some people really, some people give glory to the negative situations they done faced along their journey by speaking on them all the time. And not speaking them in a way where they trying to teach somebody. They sit and wallowing in it and they'll get worked up like it's happening right then and there. You know what I mean? And they don't realize that they're hurting themselves.
And that person that's listening.
Yeah, but not only that, you said the magic word, speak. Because the tongue is the most powerful thing on your body, and that's what people got to understand. Like you said earlier, we use a lot of wordplay. But guess what? That wordplay that you using, you could be speaking a curse upon your life. You could be speaking death upon your life. You could be speaking, you know what I'm saying, all negativity in your life. That's why we have to watch what we say.
That's right.
That's why we need to think before we speak.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't really think before they speak, especially in the heat of the moment, because you acting off of emotions or you're reacting to an action. Yes. So therefore, we have to, even in that moment, we got to be able to control our emotions and not allow other people to take us out of our character. Because my pastor always say, if you got it, you got it. You can't lay it down and pick it up when you get ready for it. So, you know, a lot of times I find myself checking myself because of the emotions and stuff that I've been through. You know, like, it's a mental thing. And you have to be able to stroke your mental. You got to be able to caress your mental. You got to be able to reprogram your mental, because trauma will have you so far gone to where you don't even think you got a mental. You just think you normal. Everything I do is good. Yeah. But really it's not, because you're not really focusing on what's really going on with yourself. You're too busy focusing on other things or that situation.
Spending too much time on that situation. So you know, a lot of times, especially when it is that, like we've stated before, neither physical or mental is a good thing to go through. But the impact of that physical, and it's even been researched and studied, and, you know, everything leads back to that mental. Because your brain, your mental ability is a big function of your body, of your life. So when it is that you are being traumatized, whether, you know, a lot of times, a lot of trauma starts as a child. So you have to catch that in that child as it is that they're growing. You don't want them to continue to carry that trauma throughout their life, because they can't handle it. And when they become adults, it's explosion time at that point. So we really have to pay attention to, and, you know, speaking especially our young people, you know, as far as dealing with mental abuse, because a lot of our young people are dealing with a lot of mental abuse.
And I'm going to say this, a lot of times the adults is not catching that mental abuse that their children, mental, physical, verbal, you know, that their children is acting out, trying to get their attention with, because of the mental that they're going through, you know. And that's why it's so much between the parents, the children, you know, because it's just a whole lot of mental. Nobody is working or getting help on the mental. They're just, things are steady piling, steady piling, steady piling, steady piling.
That's why I was saying, like, a couple weeks ago when we were speaking about the youth, I was talking about how it's very important about the adults too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because the youth is watching the adults, and they watch how we handle situations. If you watching your mama or your daddy breaking down over simple little things, you're gonna think that's how you handle
Or
situations.
if you watching your daddy beat your mama, or
Your mama beat your daddy, because it's women out here that's
So all of
abusive.
that is
Yeah.
being passed down, and we don't realize it because
Exactly.
kids are sponges and they soaking it up. No matter what it is, they soaking it up. You know what I'm saying?
Those are
So,
generational curses.
as parents or adults, we still got a major role we play because they're watching us.
Right.
They have
Exactly.
immature mind states, so they're watching those that have adult mind states, and they're trying to mimic them. But if those adult mind states is
it's
immature
still
too,
Yes, right.
you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They're gonna act out thinking they're grown, looking at the ones that think they're grown, but they not doing what grown folks do. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
we play a part. We have to still set an example. No matter what, as far as the children, time will come, but we have to prepare them for that time by walking our walk in our time. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's
Because it's a reason why God give us elders and He give us youth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we all play a part. If we don't learn from our elders, it's a lot of information that we're losing. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
That's
when
why.
they pass on.
That's why they trained us. That's why they tried to detach us from each other. So you wouldn't get this old wisdom. You see what I'm saying? You will be lost in the information that they putting in front of you right now, and that's that.
And
And a
that's-
lot of this ain't old wisdom.
Exactly.
This is new game to throw your mind off.
There you go.
See what I'm saying?
And that's why we encourage on this, why not say it all the time, young generation, get to know your elderly people, whether it's in your family or not. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is some new ice age. You ain't gonna never be able to get that old school hard knock lessons if you don't attach yourself to the older people, because they're dying off. And you know what I'm saying? Those that are getting it, that's a blessing. And the ones that's not, shame on you. Because it's not like that they're not there or they're not out here trying to share. But our young people have become so disrespectful.
and-
They detached from their roots for real,
and you know
because
why?
they so in tune with this new
But
ice
they think
age
the old
stuff.
don't count.
Don't count.
And what we don't know is without the old, you wouldn't have no new.
That's
I'm
right.
trying to
You see
tell
what I'm
you.
saying? You
I'm
wouldn't have
trying
no
to
new.
tell
You wouldn't
you.
even exist. So it's no way that the old don't count.
I'm
Because
telling
in
you.
order for you to get here, somebody had to
Had
help
to-
you get here.
I'm trying to
See what I'm
tell you.
saying? And it plays a major part of how we teaching these kids to think. See, they're thinking phones and everything is going to give them all the game, or these social sites is going to give them all the game as far as this journey we on, and it's not. Because if you don't know how to use your instincts, if you don't know how to feel things that's good for you, if you don't know how to decipher good conversations from trash conversations, stuff that ain't worthy for you, you know what I'm saying? You will be lost. Because this ain't going to tell you not to look at everything that it's going to show you. It's
Okay.
going to put it all in your face. And what we don't know is that keep us confused. Because now you got so much information that you don't even know what you thinking.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't know what's good and what's right. You feel me? Like they done told you 1,000 times God don't exist. Now we got a lot of atheists out here. You see what I'm saying? Like we have been detached. So now we don't even believe that the spiritual realm is real. But like they told you, the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. I mean the physical, which is what we in, and then the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? That you can't
That's
have
your
one without
soul.
the other.
You
You
sure
know what I'm
can.
saying? You can't
Yeah.
have one without the other.
You
Yeah.
sure can. And that's a lot of what it is that we need to do, especially as adults, is, well, before I continue, call in. We need to hear your voices. You don't have to tell who you are, state who you are, state your name, or none of that. 515-599-1687. Call in, let your voice be heard, because I'm pretty sure there is something that you can share with us and with our audience that can help somebody. And that's what we're all about. We just want to help. We want to help somebody that may be experiencing something that they need help with. They need
And
help.
y'all might say something that maybe we didn't touch on, you know, that could help somebody. But I'm going to say this, though. It's sad that it's a lot of people go to their grave with a lot of knowledge and didn't even share it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, you know, that's a slap in God's face because You know,
That's selfish.
yeah, you being selfish and you holding it to yourself and you're not helping nobody, you know. And God want all of us to be effective in each other's life by helping one another. Call in 515-599-1687. I got a lot of people on my live, and you know, y'all talking to me on the live, but talk to me over the phone. You ain't got to say your name. 515-599-1687. And we definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all that tunes in and calls in. But yeah, we talking about mental versus physical. You know, it's all abuse though.
Yes. And not only that, we really, as you know, speaking of our young people, need for them to build that gap in communication, because they're going through a lot of mental and physical abuse. I mean, we got these young ladies that's being trafficked. Well, not only young ladies, young men too.
Yeah.
You know, that's being trafficked. Nobody knows what it is that they're going through unless it is that they start opening up and communicating. Turning to the wrong thing because it is that they're not opening up and communicating. A lot of our kids, youth, not only is it adults that's experiencing mental and physical at home, but our children, our youth they need that avenue. And that's what it is that we try to provide, is that avenue for our youth and our season to speak on it. Speak on it. Let it be heard. Somebody out there needs to hear something that you may have to say that can help them in their situation that they're going through.
Yeah. And it do. It start at home, but you got to also know you got to come outside of your home as well, because your children have friends. So, you know, I mean, it don't stop. It just don't stop. You have to be a mentor to everybody. You feel me? Like children, adults, because adults still can learn things. A lot of adults feel I'm grown and you know you can't tell me nothing. But that's not true.
No,
you know,
it's not.
even as an adult, every day I still learn something. You know, whether it's about me or whether I'm learning something, period, I still learn things.
Because you're grown don't mean it's done.
Okay.
And when I say done, I mean that this life is a learning process until you leave this earth.
That's
You
right.
see what I'm saying? So grown don't mean the lessons are done.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But as we grow, we get wiser. And we supposed to display our wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That wisdom is what's more important than a person just stressing the fact that they grown. Because there's a lot of people that's claiming they grown that still got childlike mind states. There's a lot of people that's grown that's teaching these kids
All
bad
the wrong
habits.
things. Yep.
Bad habits as far as they way of dealing with life. You know what I'm saying? Or they done put all they pain on them kids to the point where them kids don't even know how to think. Or the
ain't even
kids
kids.
trying to be grown because of the
Exactly.
grown situations that's been forced upon them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So as grown adults, we have to share our wisdom. You know, the things we have been through, the struggles, in a manner where we letting them know that, yeah, you will go through things, but you can be pulled through those things.
Exactly.
And how you think plays a major part of
Exactly.
where you gonna land when you go through these things.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people is stuck in situations that they're already out of. You know what I'm saying? They'll be praying, asking God to deliver them from something. He didn't deliver them,
And
but
they-
you steady looking backwards.
Exactly. All
All right,
y'all,
we have
got
a caller.
We
We got a caller.
Hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all.
Hello there. How are you?
Long time
Well,
no hear
hello, the Wu-Tang
from. Long time no hear from.
I'm digging everything is y'all saying.
All right, now we'll speak on it, honey. Give us some of them jewels.
What the jewels is, you know, people, some of them don't want to take in what we give. Because either they don't want to listen, or they think they know it all, and some just done with it at all around. But everything that y'all have stated has been jewels.
So what's your opinion, caller, on our topic tonight in reference to, you know, the heart? Which way is hit the hardest? Is it the mental
it's kind of a sticky situation
Okay.
because we always deal with our minds. Your mind reflects the body that makes the body move. So, with that being said, a lot of people want to be stuck with what they believe.
They're comfortable. Mm-hmm.
But the mind is heaven or hell. If you create an atmosphere that's comfortable to you, understandable for you, that can be your heaven. But if you consistently deal with what puts you in hell, then your mind will be that hell atmosphere that you created. So I'm stuck between your mind. So I'm thinking your mind is your heaven or your hell.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We got that most definitely, and we appreciate, you sharing that information with us because we don't want anyone to create hell in their mind because all that does is that hinders the healing process from that mental or that physical abuse. So most definitely, we're wanting to encourage people and to, give that opportunity.
I'm with the encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the encouragement.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
But when I'm speaking of the mind of the heaven or the hell, some people don't want to get out of the predicament that they're in.
You're right.
Because sometimes they use that as a clutch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's true.
So why do you think that
So
is?
that's why I say you create your heaven and your hell.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is that, it's escalated to a crutch?
It became comfortable. A lot of people don't like to face reality.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll pacify themselves with, oh, that was all right, it's okay. Or
and
you know what I'm saying?
That goes back to how they was raised.
Yeah.
See, when you got
they're gonna do that, and when they do that, they want you to pacify it too.
Because when you got people that's pacifying children,
I heard you pretty too. Because when you give encouraging conversations, because you done went all the way around the block, that they want you to be in agreement with, or they can't mess with you because you ain't on what they on. And that's what a lot of people be on too. When you speak in positivity and speaking of the knowledge and let me see how I want to say this.
Okay, hurry up and say it, caller. Not trying to rush you, but we getting another call, and we want to.
I know, and I hate when I call in late.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. You can always call back once you get that thought together. You can always call back.
So I'm with Pretty on that.
Okay.
They don't like you being positive. They don't like you not being in agreement of what their misery is. And I agree with everything y'all said, so I'm done.
Look, girl, we ain't trying to rush you off the phone, but we want to be
Look, so I'm done. I agree with everything y'all said.
We appreciate you, caller. We definitely appreciate you. Call back. Hello, caller. Oh, Lord. I'm calling her. Oh, they done hung up, and I'm calling her back. Let me hurry up, hang up. Okay, there you go. Well, that's all right, caller. We definitely appreciate you calling in, dropping some of your jewels on us, letting us know how you feel about the topic of mental versus physical. But, call in 515-599-1687. We still got a few more minutes to talk about this. We would love to hear your opinion about what if something you didn't experience, or maybe somebody that's experiencing it, and something that you could do to help. Not just talk about it, as in gossip, but, to help. What is it? What's a solution that we can, put out to help, because it's not just about talking about it. It's about helping, So call in 515-599-1687.
And I think we said earlier, a lot of times we don't understand. We don't think about just how much that physical can impact our mental. While I was doing some research, I just saw like a link of conversation that was going on, and one young lady stated, people kill me with saying that your mental is impacted worse than the physical. Hell, they didn't hit my mental, they hit my face.
So did she say why did they hit her face?
Right. No, she didn't say why they hit her face. She just basically,
maybe her mental. See, what we don't realize is our mind and our tongue is connected too. So maybe she said something out of her mouth that made her. See, it goes back to what like our mind state, and she might have said something out of her mouth that got her hit in her face.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? Or sometimes we got to learn to bite our tongue. Why am I even talking to you if I see the conversation going left?
Right.
We got to know when to walk away. See, sometimes we be standing on things that it's shaky grounds for real. I'm not finna sit, for one, I'm not finna sit and argue with a stranger, period. Or I'm not finna argue with somebody where I know we finna get physical.
Right.
Because I know where it's going to lead to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And you know what? But I found that offensive because other people was in the conversation. The thread was very serious about things that they've been going through and so on and so forth. And this idiot gets in there and says, well, hell, people kill me talking about, mental is worse than physical. They didn't hit my, they hit my face. They didn't hit my mental.
But just by her making that statement, you could tell her, you could tell her mental.
Because did her mind tell her to duck? Did her mind tell her to run? Did her mind tell her to move? Did her mind tell her to shut up?
Right.
Did her mind tell her this ain't even worth me talking about? See, we don't listen to ourselves a lot of times. That's how a lot of us end up in situations or end up getting hit or end up getting, you know what I'm saying? Because we all got a voice, true indeed, but you got to know when to use it. And that's what we teaching these kids. Yeah, you got a voice, but you still got to be respectful and know when to use it.
Okay.
So that comes in the mind of knowing to decipher different things and different conversations. And when a conversation going left and you still running your mouth, you let somebody catch you sleeping and hit you in your face. You see what I'm saying? Because if you was more silent, you would have saw them moving in a way where they getting physical, or they getting close to you like they trying to get physical. You know what I mean? That's why silence is a very deadly key. We think like a lot of people think tongue wrestling and battling somebody with their tongue is power. I didn't realize when it comes down to arguing, me silencing down and letting somebody keep running their mouth.
That's the best way.
Now they'll stop in the middle of their own conversation and be like, forget it, you don't even want to talk about this. I ain't said nothing.
Exactly.
You running your mouth.
Yep.
I'm just reading your body language, making sure you ain't out of pocket for real.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference in those that know how to silence down because they can read the room better. You know what I mean? So she's thinking about the hit. But what caused the hit?
Right. And I wasn't trying to say it to be funny or whatever.
That was real, though.
It's a serious...
Because it really goes back to the mind.
I'm just laughing because, and I'm just going to keep it real. I got to always keep it real. I laugh because I was sitting here thinking like, I thank God because I've came a long way because I got a mouthpiece on me. And I just thank God that nobody have reached out and hit me.
Right.
But my thing of it is that, you know what I'm saying, I did learn to humble my tongue some, especially because a lot of these women gonna go back and forth with a man because they think they can whoop that man. And I'm not never condoning on nobody hitting anybody, especially a man hitting a woman. I'm not condoning that. But what I am saying, women, a lot of times we do need to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. Yeah. Because you want to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And the point still don't get across.
And it don't get, because first off, you ain't hearing each other no way because y'all too busy arguing, and I'm sure you arguing at a loud tone. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you can kill a person better with silence.
Yep.
Yeah,
with
it
silence.
Them crazy. They wonder why you ain't saying nothing. Why you ain't talking back? Why? For one, we not talking about the right things.
Exactly.
You're trying to argue. And for two, I see the conversation going left, so why should I keep on? Why should I keep on adding to a negative conversation?
Exactly.
See, the thing is, we got to be able to read energy. Even with conversation, you could tell when somebody getting worked up. You know what I'm saying? Or they could say some things to you verbally where you seem like we finna go left. So before we go left, I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna cut this conversation short and go right. And then you could sit and battle yourself and be wondering why I didn't respond or why we not communicate no more. That's why I say it goes back to self, mentally knowing when to and when not to. You know what I'm saying? And knowing, is it worth me even steady going back and forth? We're not getting a point across, so what are we talking about?
And that's something to think about too, though. Because, you know, when you sit and you think about when you going back and forth with a person, you're just wasting energy. Nobody's hearing anything. Nobody's accomplishing anything. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just another thought for us to think about. You know, humble yourself. It ain't because a lot of people feel like if I shut up, I'm the punk. You done cowered me down. But you know what? To be honest with you, if you really think about it.
You the coward because you keep talking. Now you feeling.
Both of y'all the same. So, you know what I'm saying? What make you any better than that next person?
Well, really?
But will make you better if you just be quiet and not even worry about it. Because guess what? If they feel they won, then you won. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you won, I won, and I'm going on about my business.
And you know what's even deep? A lot of times when you silence down in the middle of those type of conversations and that person who's steady running their mouth, they end up being the one coming back apologizing.
Yeah.
Because they not in control of what they saying out their mouth, and they tend to say something that they didn't want to say. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they realize they didn't hurt somebody that didn't give them the same energy.
Exactly.
I ain't cussed you out. You steady
I
cussing
ain't cussed
me.
you out.
And
I ain't called you out your
down.
name. I ain't said nothing wrong to you.
At that very moment, once it's all done and you come back down and you realize like I was tripping, next thing you know you want to call and apologize.
And then a lot of people don't even call and apologize because they pride be so screwed up and messed up to where, you know, that mental and played them all the way down to where they don't even have the, you know, the decency to call you and be like, I was wrong. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Sometimes in that physical and that mental abuse, it's enough for apologizing because it's gone on for long periods of time. So that's when it is like we've all alluded to is stepping up and knowing what's best for us. How long do you allow your mental or your physical to keep being abused? That's you know, that's a big question.
It is.
Because a lot of people feel that they don't have the control, you know, to step out of the situations in order to avoid that physical or that mental abuse. So that's when it is that I feel that you have to know you. You most definitely got to know you. You know when enough is enough and how much it is that you can take. Hey, because one thing's for sure, God's not going to put no more on you than you can bear. So if it is that you bearing more than what it is that you feel that God didn't put on you, then that's because you don't
That's
know
your choice.
you. Yes.
That's your choice. That's why he give us choice. That's your choice.
Yep.
So, you know, like we always said,
And
that's
your
we have to know thyself. He said all the time.
Until you get your mind right, you're going to experience those things because your mind puts you in situations you don't want to be in at times.
And that mouth
and
will
we be
too.
thinking that, you know, we be thinking that this me doing me. And we don't realize if it ain't good for you, then you need to check yourself. And sometimes we have to apologize to ourselves for putting ourselves in certain situations, and that way we could move on. You know, we'll whoop ourselves too much sometimes, when really it's just a lesson for you. You know, and people are lessons too for you. You know, sometimes you could see a fool acting a fool, and you realize, like, I don't want to be like that. Or I ain't finna be that fool. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not finna be out in the streets clowning like this clown.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? But that all goes into the mind again. How you think and how you see yourself and how you receive things. Because a lot of people, you could give them good information, and if they mind ain't right, they gonna take it in the wrong way.
That's right.
And a lot of people be feeling like, oh, I'm so tired, my body's so tired. No, that's your soul tired. That's your soul telling you putting too much on me that don't even need to be on me. And that's why you feeling physically tired. Because you didn't put all of this negative energy into my soul, and I can't even function the way I need to be functioning. I'm tired.
Right.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Like we got listen. This is just a shell, a loner shell. We gotta for real take care of our mental our soul. We got to nourish our souls. And we're not doing that now. We just dumping everything. And we wondering why one minute we happy, the next minute we sad. One minute we got suicidal thoughts, and the next minute you want to go run a marathon or you want to go help somebody. That's because we are allowing so many different things into our spirits to where our spirit, one spirit bring on 7 other spirits. You got to know that.
That's right.
So when you thinking wicked, that wicked spirit is bringing on everything that's negative that goes along with being wicked. When you speak positivity in your life in the morning when you wake up, I am going to have a great day. I am wonderfully made. I am a woman of God. You know, when you speak positivity in your life, watch how your day go fast. Oh, your day go by so much better. Like even with that, you can endure something negative that may come along. And I'm telling you, like, man, I didn't learn how to meditate. I didn't learn how to speak affirmations in my life and know that, yeah, this is going to manifest for me today. God's going to put positive people in my life today. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we feel too like, because we don't have friends. A lot of times when God removed them so-called friends out of your life, that's your chance to get closer to him.
Right.
He needs to work on you to make you a better person. And a lot of times when we are inclined with our friends or on social media or around sociable people, we can't hear what God got for us.
That's right.
You know, so he need us at our by ourselves, so that we can be in tune with his sweet sounding of his voice, you know, and then we'll be able to get what it is that he have for us to do in our life for that day. Let today take care of today, and tomorrow be tomorrow. That's right. You know, but we got to make sure that we always stand on top of our mental.
That's right. So my last remarks in reference to the topic that we've been talking on, in reference to mental versus physical, which one hits the hardest? Neither one of them should be hitting us. If it is that we put our all in what we need to do for ourselves and put it most definitely in God's hands. The battle is not ours to fight. Exactly. It's most definitely, he done told us. He got us. So we have to give it to him. A lot of our mental and physical abuse that we're going through, hey, we don't have to. Let's turn it over. Turn it over to our Most High, because he got us and he will help bring us through it, most definitely. I'm a living witness, and I am a true believer.
And I'm going to tell you, women, I'm going to say it once again, baby, I do not condone violence in no shape, form, or fashion, not from a man nor a woman. But women, sometimes we do have to learn to shut up, because if not, that man is going to ratchet around and put you right in your place. I'm telling you. And that's just not. I'm just saying, though, because a lot of women will push with that mouth. That mouth will get us in trouble. So, you know, we got to learn how to humble our tongues. And, hey, silence is the best key.
Yep, it is.
Hey, stay silent and put a smile on your face and watch how they respond.
That's right. Laugh at them.
Fast Lane, you got any last remarks before we get on up out of here?
Get your mind right.
Get your mind right.
Clear your mind, though. You know what I'm saying? Take time to do things that make you happy. Take time to love yourself more. That way you can love others better. You know what I'm saying? Like, take them walks in the park. Take time to meditate. Meditating is very important, because, like, a process of meditating is trying to clear your mind from all thoughts, so that you can receive happy thoughts and happy feelings and good energy. So it's very important we take time out to just meditate, not even sitting back and reflecting about what we've been through. Just enjoy the moment, where you at that time, the breeze on you, the sun is hitting your skin. You know, take your shoes off and get grounded with the earth. You know, all those things that we think are nothing, those are the things that give you peace, and it don't cost a dime to do it.
Not a
You know what I'm
dime.
saying? And take time out for yourself.
That's right.
Even when you're in a relationship, if you're not loving yourself, you're not gonna love that person like they want to be loved. You know what I mean? So it's very important. And in order to help your mate and be that helpmate, you gotta clear your mind. That way you can give them positive influence. You can give them positive feedback, and you could be a better listener.
That's right.
Wrap
Absolutely.
your arms so tight around yourself and give
say,
yourself a hug.
That's right.
Till next Friday. Why not say it? We out of here. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. Fast Lane, take us out of here. To all our listeners, to the one that tuned in, to the one that called in, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you.
Just continue to love us, like us, share us, and subscribe.
I've been in front, and behind of a gun. And most of these niggas ain't even been on the side of one. I watch my life have been reflected through the eyes of my son. They say my age makes a difference, cause you die to be young. I done took so many losses and my surroundings that keep my good and shining. It's fucked up how they pronounce it. I didn't like